Your mad scientist drinking buddy is here to deliver a flight for Marco here that is kind of stupid, to be perfectly honest. None of these are anything you can buy in stores. These are all things that I threw together, whether that be I home blended them or maybe I aged something that you can buy in a store. They're not all whiskey. They're not. So, like I said, mad scientist. Oh, let's see if Marco can figure out what I did here. I don't expect him to be able to, because like I said,
I don't expect me to be able to.
This is not me trying to make Marco look silly at all. Because like literally, if you poured this flight for me, I wouldn't be able to pick them out.
I think this is payback for the McKenna. For the Buffalo Trace McKenna.
This is just me trying to have a little bit of fun. I thought this would be fun to do a little mad scientist.
Yeah, well, all for it, dude.
So dive into glass one here.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is how he has them labeled.
Figure out what we got here, and they're in line with proof.
Okay.
I'm your drinking buddy.
Am I allowed to know the proofs?
Actually...
Oh. Why does that smell like vodka?
It is definitely not vodka.
Mm.
Why did I do
that? That like surprised the hell out of me.
I don't know why I'm doing that. I just want to switch these two because the proof. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Oh yeah, dude, this smells like vodka.
Interesting.
It smells like a vodka. Then it also smells like a Lafroig 10. It's like Band-Aids. What are you doing to me, dude?
I like this. I actually like this, and I think it makes an excellent mixed drink.
He calls himself a friend.
Yeah. It's, let's see, 94 proof.
94 proof. Okay.
So, definitely not vodka.
It smells very like anise. People would say Band-Aids out, like, right out the bat. Tastes better than it smells.
I like the palate on this one.
This tastes much better than it smells.
What are you getting?
A little creaminess. It's like simple syrup with molasses. Is this a rum?
I can't say anything, but is that your guess that this is a rum?
I mean, it doesn't look like a rum. Well, maybe it could be like not necessarily a spice rum, like a gold rum, but it tastes like sugar and molasses, not brown sugar.
It's been a while since I've had this.
It tastes like sugar and molasses. It really does.
I mean, I feel like
creamy vanilla sugar with molasses.
I know what it is, but off the nose, I feel like it should give it away.
Have I had something like that before? That you know of?
I mean, you're a bartender.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean I drank a lot, but
I feel like it tastes like what it is. Just I'll keep it away.
Mm. I want to say it's a rum. I want to say it's a silver rum, and you probably aged it.
We will reveal at the end.
All right. Oh, it smells minty. Very minty. Is this a rye, maybe? Oh, dude, that's actually good. The nose and the palate very well match itself. It's minty. It's really good. This has to be some sort of rye.
So when I tasted this one, I thought I may have done something amazing here. And it would be difficult to reproduce. I will be freely honest. But I tasted this and I was like, I may have done something amazing here. And I wanted a second opinion on that. Because when I tasted this, I go, oh my God, this is really good. We
got an MGP beater. This
it might be MGP.
This is nice. I like the nose and palate. I like it all. God, man.
I will, of course, at the end be able to tell you exactly what I did with all of these. So
put backbone and something else in here. Ah, man. Let me see. Oh, this is softer. You sure this is lower proof or higher proof than that?
Yes. This is 110.54. I did the math.
It smells softer.
This should be amazing.
It smells amazing. I'm trying to pick off the nose on this one, and because it's a little floral. I almost want to say another rye. Because it's a bourbon. It doesn't have no mintiness in there. Maybe a touch, but this is good too. This is really good. There is a little bit of cherry that pops out, but it has like this very low mint flavor that kind of pops at the end.
Okay. All right. All right.
Oh, I like those.
This last one, I will admit, I didn't like as much as the other ones, but I thought it was worth throwing in there because it's a really unique experience. This one came out wild.
It smells wild. I almost get chamomile.
Totally see that, actually.
It's because I'm Mexican. Chamomile.
Is that a thing?
With Mexicans? Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, like Vicks on your feet with socks.
Okay. All right.
It's a thing. Anytime you sneeze, oh mijo, you need Vicks and you need some manzanilla.
Well, I always put Vicks on my kids' feet and on their socks.
No, it's not bad.
I think it came out good. I just don't think it's not as good as these two.
No. I was probably put this better than this.
I put them in order of proof. Realistically,
what's the proof on this?
Approximately 115. I will have to do some math. I'll put it on the screen right here.
Okay. It doesn't taste like 115. None of these taste type proof to me.
What is your guess?
100 proof. Damn it.
I'm a tricky guy too, so.
Yeah, I see that. I'm gonna have to say this is another rye.
Crazy flavor notes you're picking up off here.
Dickel.
So much Dickel.
Mm-hmm.
So this one,
like that.
this one literally, when I tasted it, I was like, oh, so basically all of the whatever I put in the blend, I just highlighted the Dickel.
Yeah, that's what you did. That's what this tastes like to me. It's just like, this is just Dickel. But there's
Dickel
something
barrel proof.
There's something in there that makes it more appreciative.
I feel like I almost lost all of the interesting things that go on between what I did here.
I mean, Dickel overpowers this.
You'll understand in a moment.
Dickel overpowers this. I'm just like
the whiskeys that I put in here. Yes, it's a whiskey. The whiskeys that I put in here have very interesting finishes, and none of them show through. Like, none of them show through. All you get is, hey, Dickel has arrived at the party.
Yeah. That damn Dickel.
I like Dickel.
See him out.
I like Dickel when it's blended in a barrel, to be honest. Barrel, I'm a big fan of.
Barrel bourbon does a lot of good stuff, and
they managed to take that Dickel, they highlight those mineral qualities, make them taste really nice and really well-rounded. And I'm clearly, on this one, not as good a blender as they are.
Wow, no, it's really overpowering my palate right now.
Yeah. So, your guesses were rum, rye, bourbon, and...
Dickel.
Bourbon or rye, or
Tennessee whiskey.
Tennessee whiskey. All right. Well, so which would be bourbon? Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I know.
So you're going rum, rye, bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this one here is Tanqueray with that I finished at home with a bourbon spiral.
What?
Yeah. And when you smell it, you're going to be like, well, come on. Like, it smells immediately like gin.
I mean, yes. It actually does smell like gin now that you say it.
It smells so gin, but I know that. So
Not so ginny, because I've actually had barrel aged gin. Doesn't smell or taste like this.
Yeah, I think it's because I specifically used that
The
charred spiral, the bourbon barrel spiral. You know, basically the same
Now that you
thing.
say that,
put
like
in
I didn't have the botanical. The botanicals were not there in the beginning.
they're dulled down a little bit from
a lot.
Well, not on the nose. I feel like they're not dulled down on the nose,
initial,
but on the
it's
palate,
weird.
They're dulled down.
So it's weird. As soon as you told me this was a gin, now I smell it.
Yeah.
Before that, I
couldn't believe you didn't figure it out off the nose. I thought you would. But you did amazing on the other one. So
I love gin. I really love gin too. Like gin and tonic. People ask me, "What's your go-to cocktail?" And I'm like, I actually don't like cocktails. But if I'm gonna have something, gin and tonic is where I go.
My go-to cocktail is a Manhattan. If I'm gonna drink a cocktail, I'd rather just have bourbon.
Give me a bottle on the glass. That's my cocktail.
But you nailed this one so hard. This is backbone. But I threw in. Sorry, not backbone. Bone snapper. I threw in not only.
Well, it's backbone though.
There is not only a bourbon barrel spiral in here, but there's also a French oak spiral in there. And that French oak spiral had originally been in a bottle of Oak and Eden. So it's a bourbon barrel aged French oak spiral.
Okay.
And when I tasted this, I did something cool.
You did. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like that more than that by itself right there.
Yeah, and I like the bone snapper rye, especially for being 108 proof and
backbone is the bourbon.
Backbone's the bourbon, yeah. But you were so close. You said MGP, you said rye, you said backbone, which you meant bone snapper. I thought maybe that was a bourbon. I definitely took bone snapper and made it better, and it's a good one. So think about number 3 here, because I feel like was this the best one you tasted?
I'm actually torn because I really love the flavors from this one.
I think I might have done pretty well with number 2 then, because when you find out with what number 3 is, I think you're gonna.
Because I really, really enjoy, even after I just drank that right now. Yeah, man, I think number 2 was it for me.
So I took a $25, $30 bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, you said bourbon. You were correct. You mentioned cherry, which is, the general Buffalo Trace.
I bet you that's a Weller.
So this is my concoction called Best of Both Worlds. Okay. This is Weller 12 and Stagg Junior Batch 16.
How I know it.
So yeah, that's where you get that 110.54 proof. It's been sitting around for a couple weeks. I blended it and let it sit.
I knew you were gonna have a Weller in here, dude.
When you do a blend, you gotta let it sit for a little bit. Let it mingle. Let the bourbon mingle together.
So the softness on this, when I first tried it, I knew there was a Weller in there. But the flavors that were in this thing, I was like, that's
French oak and the
really
bourbon barrel spiral in there.
I don't know if I'd say this is better than that, but this is softer. This is way softer. That's the wheated bourbon style.
I mean, would you guess that is 110 proof? Because I
no.
Not. When I tasted it, I was
109.
Yeah.
At most. Well, no, not even 109.
I'm thinking like 105.
Yeah, I was gonna say 105, 100 to 105, something like that. But I
really should have saved the best for last, because now we're on the end here, and this is less exciting than these two, unfortunately, because it just didn't turn out as great. But I wanted to get a second opinion, make sure I wasn't crazy.
I actually liked it for whatever it is.
I mean, it's very Dickel.
It is very Dickel.
So this is C-Meta.
Damn Dickel.
This is C-Meta. So this is equal parts seagrass and equal parts barrel Armida.
Oh.
So it's a boo rye. I don't think it really worked. I don't feel like you pick up any of those unique finishes that you get off of the seagrass. I don't feel like you pick up very much of those unique finishes you get off of the Armida. There's a little bit, for me at least, maybe because I knew I was drinking it, there's a little bit of that off the Armida. You get that anise quality from the.
It has anise in there flavor.
It's right behind you. What is it?
Oh.
Yeah, you get a little bit of something from the Sicilian Amaro, and you get a little bit of something from the pear brandy cask, but the seagrass is lost. It's lost.
Seagrass is lost in this because I actually like the seagrass.
It's not my jam.
I hate Armida.
I love Armida, and Seagrass is not my jam.
Not for me.
Armida is still a bourbon. It still tastes like bourbon. It's just got some unique flavors going on. Seagrass for me is a rye that has lost its ryeness. There's not enough rye flavors going on for me to even call it rye. And I like the flavor of it. But if I want to drink rye, I want to taste rye. So the people out there who love Seagrass, great. I'm glad you do. It's just not a bottle for me.
Dovetail is my favorite of the bourbons.
I'm not talking about barrel. I do love Dovetail. The barrel, the batches. The bourbon.
The different batches are really good.
And then, yeah, I don't have it up here because we were drinking it earlier tonight with the buddy. They did a pick. I'm sorry. We did a pick of
two different barrels
of barrel, and he currently has bottles of that. It's because it's downstairs.
Oh, okay.
He currently has bottles of that for sale that we picked together on that. And
yeah, he was there for the tasting. So because of him and my brother, these two guys went FOMO, and they picked for us 2 barrels from barrel.
I get blamed for this a lot. Well, drinking buddies, I really appreciate Marco for coming on the channel.
I appreciate you showing me something cool and interesting.
Mad scientist, wanted to see if anything you can do at home is worthwhile. Turns out throwing some French oak in your bottle of Bone Snapper will make for a really good product, as well as, hey, maybe if you got some, most people, I feel like most people watching this channel have an extra bottle of Weller 12 and an extra bottle of STAGG in your batch.
Who doesn't?
Blend those two together, because, you probably have like 5 or 6 bottles of each. Blend those two together and you'll end up with something awesome.
Dude, as you told me what this is, I taste both of them now.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, drinking buddies. Go to Nana's Kitchen in Tucson, Arizona when you're here.
Pay back for the freaking Buffalo chasing McKenna. Hate him.